All right, good morning and welcome to the Morning Brick, everybody. We are live here from Orlando Brick Co. Do we have sound? Yes, hallelujah. No technical difficulties. Score. We've got Daniel here and we've got Joey, the manager of Orlando Brick Co. Hey, guys. We are streaming from Longwood, Florida this morning. Oh, wait, no, I got to do the intro. All right, welcome to the Morning Brick, the best place to get your Lego news, leaks, rumors, opinions, pictures, all here on Atlanta Brick Co. TV, but not in Noonan, Georgia, in Longwood, Florida. And we will be talking about all of those good Lego leaks and rumors. Like I said, I'm here with Joey. So we usually kick it off, Joey, by talking about our Lego Lives this week, which is anything that we built, bought, collected, learned something new, anything like that. So did you do anything in your Lego life in the past week that you want to talk about?
Yeah. So I didn't do any Lego building this week, but I did do some organizing. So I had some acrylic minifigure displays come in, and I spent a long time, maybe like 10 hours, building those and hanging them on my wall at home. But they look pretty good. So I haven't started filling in figures there, but I'm excited to get to that. And then I also had a great time at the Brick Convention last week.
Yeah, that's what I was going to bring up.
Saw a lot of really cool mocks. I had a lot of fun at the Atlanta Brick Co. booth over the weekend. Met a bunch of new fans, saw a bunch of familiar faces as well, which is always fun.
Yeah, for sure. This was my first time ever going to a brick convention, specifically. Those are put on by Grayson. And this one was here at was it Osceola Heritage Park? Yeah. You've done this one before, though?
This is my third time. This was actually my 2-year anniversary at the company.
Nice.
My first day 2 years ago.
That's funny. That's good to know. I actually recently passed my 3-year work anniversary. I think it was the end of March. I think it was like the 26th or the 27th that I moved to Noonan. So we both just had recent anniversaries, which is very cool. But otherwise in my Lego week, first time going to a brick convention. It was fantastic for a small local show. Very cool to see always how different people do different Lego conventions, which is very exciting. Other than that, I'm sure I will be buying some things before I leave here at Orlando Brick Co. I haven't quite settled on what I'll be purchasing, but I'm sure I'll be bringing home some things. So now that we've talked about our Lego week, let's check in with everybody that we got in the chat. We got Brick Mom VA commenting live from Orlando, the Morning Brick. How fun. We got Randy Ratzlaff with the Daniel Wow emojis. Joey does not have an emoji on our channel. Maybe they can get their own emojis once they get enough subscribers. Let's see. We got Grumpy J. Good Grumpical day, everyone. Grumpy J was actually just in the store the other day. We were going to do a Grump of Building, but we didn't. We got Morgan here. How's it going, Morgan? Beautiful ladies of Lego. Hey, don't talk about my mom like that. Let's see. We got Peter Sloan. I made a wrong turn at Albuquerque, and I drove 7.5 hours in the wrong direction to work down here to Longwood, Florida. Let's see. We got Trevor C. Good morning. Scott Robinson celebrating 34 months of membership. Congratulations, Scott. Let's see, who else do we have? We got Toa Garrett in the chat. Garrett, I got a question for you about a Bionicle piece and whether or not I should buy it. So I'll have to call you about that later. We got Robert R. Good morning. It's a good beach day. Good to know. When's the last time you went to the beach, Jay?
The day after my wedding. So November. Okay. Yeah, not too long.
Yeah, I don't think I ended up going with y'all on that trip, but I went probably the last time I was here before then.
Yeah.
Which was what, maybe August or September? I don't know. We got G Storm. Welcome in. Rufus T. Cat wanted to know, did we watch the Switch 2 Direct? Is that like a Nintendo conference? Is that like E3 for Nintendo or something?
I did not. I was keeping up to date with some of the movie premiere information over the last couple of days. I forget what event there was.
The Marvel, all the Marvel movies?
Yeah, but it wasn't a Disney event. It was it Sony? No. There's some movie event, and they were talking about a lot of 2026 movies, like Shrek and all kinds of different ones.
Interesting. I know you had a lot of Marvel stuff you were talking about as well.
I was kind of going crazy.
We can talk about that later, too. It's usually Lego tangential, because it means, we could potentially get new minifigs and characters and things.
Yeah.
G Storm, good morning. Anthony Ward wants to know what's the new Star Wars. We do have some good Star Wars info for you today. It's a little bit of a smorgasbord of information we'll be covering today. Lots of different themes with only a couple things per theme. Yes, we did get busy helping customers and some tech problems, but we got the StreamYard login info this morning, so we are here. Let's see. Morgan said, with the Shire releasing last night, LEGO website was having problems for an hour and a half. Luckily, I forgot to get online for an hour and 20 minutes, so missed most of the drama. Yeah, sometimes that's for better, sometimes that's for worse. Hopefully you still got the gift with purchase, Morgan. I don't know if they're still currently available or if those already sold out or not with the Shire. But
has there been a big recent release where the website didn't have a problem? Because I can't really recall one.
Yeah, LEGO should be investing a lot of money in tech support or something. We got somebody here rating the chat here from the Orlando Brick Co. Let's see, got mine this morning at 6:30, and I got the GWP. That's probably Joe. I think logged in on StreamYard from Atlanta, even though he told us he was so busy to do the stream. We were gonna try and do a thing where we could call in where Atlanta still hosted it, but we didn't want to mess it up. Yeah, it's Joe. It's Joe commenting on here. Yeah, get on your own YouTube login, Joe. All right, I think we greeted everybody in the chat, so we can switch over to the news. So let's see. We got a nice list of news here. Let's see where we want to start off. All right, I have one text rumor that I couldn't go back and find the picture for, but there was a rumor of a Air Max shoe set coming out. So they did the Adidas what was it, the All-Star, the black and white one?
Yeah.
Which I think was a pretty good set. I think it was pretty widely liked by people, I would say.
Little GWP too, the small one.
The little GWP. I have the small one. I don't think I have the big one.
Yeah.
So very cool. It could be interesting to see how they do another shoe. I don't know.
I mean, that would make sense. They did was it a teaser for a Nike collaboration?
They did. This was a while ago, and I actually just mentioned this the other day, that it was surprising that we haven't heard anything else about it.
Yeah.
So I don't know. There was a survey that we talked about a long time ago that had all kinds of things where LEGO was looking for feedback on what people would want out of clothing and apparel type merchandise. There were lots of different T-shirt designs that had cool callbacks to old themes, and then there was lifestyle stuff, more water bottles, but there was also lamps and all this other stuff. So I don't know if that was potentially for the Nike collab or what, but we still don't really have a lot of extra information for that.
Yeah.
But there is a rumor now for an Air Max shoe.
It's interesting they choose the Air Max and not a Jordan, right? A Jordan is the Nike brand. Maybe they just wanted the swoosh on it and not the Jordan advertising, but you associate especially trendy salesmen, the trading shoes as Jordans. So that would make sense to do as a LEGO one. Hopefully, I guess at least it's not white. If it's a white Air Max, it'll look just like the Superstar. It'll be very boring.
Yeah.
Give us some fun colors.
Yeah. Let's see. Oliver Wilson tuning in from Facebook. Welcome in. Welcome in. Randy got her Shire and gift with purchase at 9:30. Okay, so there you go. You didn't have to be there at midnight. Let's see. Morgan, I assume, did, because he said he was an hour and a half afterwards. But he said more importantly, he got the Easter Bunny surprise. Pretty awful looking GWP, but nonetheless, go get it now if you want.
Free Lego's free Lego.
Yep. Morgan says the Twitch stream is always more ahead of the YouTube stream. There you go. You can get the Lego news 2 milliseconds before everyone else. I don't know. Tell us what the difference is like, Morgan. I'd be curious to know. It all goes through StreamYard. Trevor C says Jordan 1's the most iconic shoe ever made. Yeah. Maybe it's a licensing thing. Maybe they didn't want to.
It could be they own the license.
Extra royalties to Jordan. I don't know. Yeah, red and black Jordans would have been sick for sure. Flounder said thanks for the invite. This was a very last minute impromptu decision, Flounder. But yes, you should come by the store today anyway.
I found out about this 20 minutes ago, and I have not been prepped on any of our news or rumors. So all of my opinions are going to be first time hearing.
Okay, well, here's a bit of store news for Orlando. This is actually the second time today that Joey's been impromptu on the news.
Yeah.
Because Orlando Brick Co. Why don't you tell them about it?
So we've been doing promotions with some local elementary schools and middle schools, just like Atlanta has.
We did as well,
where we share the school online on social media. They promote in the local area, and we are hopefully donating up to 100 pounds of Lego brick to them.
Yeah.
So the first school we ever did down here was Stenstrom Elementary. They're 20 minutes down the road from us, and they did fantastic. They got over 1,200 likes and shares on Instagram and Facebook. So we were able to donate 60 pounds of free Lego to them.
Yeah.
So it was really awesome to be able to give back to the community like that and to provide that for them. And we showed up and we were meeting with the principal, expecting just to take a nice little photo op and share something on social media and be excited about it. And he put us on their morning news. So
because we showed up right as school started, as the bell rung.
And so these elementary schoolers are going through, and they have an incredibly advanced and organized TV production.
They had teleprompters. Yeah. They had a separate room with all kids. It was all kid run.
Yeah.
They were doing, I assume, the teleprompter speed, the switching cameras and stuff.
Yeah.
They had really nice green screens.
Yeah, the
and
whole
stuff.
walls were painted green and everything, like desks set up. Everybody was prepared. Like,
I, of course, was the
they were
moron
very
who wore a
good.
green shirt on the show. The
And
green
so
screen.
the principal pulls us on there, and he just like introduces us in front of, I don't know, over 1,000 kids at that school and all the teachers and everything. And we're sitting there talking about Orlando and Atlanta Brick Co. And we're like, yeah, this is so awesome. And it was a fun experience, but it was definitely not expected. So
Yeah.
now twice today I'm on a live news channel, and I didn't expect either one.
There you go. But it was fantastic. So we're only doing it as local promotions right now. But if you know any schools that are local to the Atlanta or the Orlando area that would be interested in doing something like that, like a social media challenge to get Lego donated, be sure to send us an email.
Yeah.
And we can get
We actually have one running for another school down the area, Longwood Elementary. So if you haven't already liked and shared that post, please do. Every like helps them get more Lego.
For sure. Well worth it. Well worth it. That was a good bit of store news. Good tie-in.
Yeah.
Good tie-in. Let's see. Flounder said couldn't go anyways because they have a meeting in 20 minutes, but it's the principle of the invite. All right, I don't want to hear it.
Hey, I think we invited you to dinner tonight.
There you go. All right, we got lots of news to get through. Let's see where we want to start. I'll probably just go in the order that the pictures are loaded in here to make it easy. So let's see. All right, we'll do Harry Potter first. So these were some Harry Potter figures that leaked over the course of the last week. There are some interesting choices and some not so interesting choices. This Harry is one we've pretty much gotten before, so nothing crazy there. Ron in sort of a different outfit. I can't quite tell what's in his pockets, but it's definitely a new outfit there. We've got another nearly headless Nick. Somebody in the group chat that I asked if this was the final Hogwarts house ghost, which it's not. The last Hogwarts house ghost we would need to receive would be the Bloody Baron, so I don't know if Lego's ever going to produce that one. I wish they would, so we could get a complete set of Hogwarts house ghosts. But no, this is just another nearly headless Nick. I don't know if this is the first time he's had the neck ruffle collar thing in light bluish gray. That might be new, but otherwise this looks pretty standard. I think the glow-in-the-dark one is still the best.
Yeah.
Not sure who this wizard is here with the peg leg, but kind of cool, whatever. And then one of the other notable things is down here on the right, we've got the trio from the Sorcerer's Stone, but Harry appears to be holding potentially a new mold for the Sorcerer's Stone, or it might be similar to either the kind of elves gem piece, which is sort of a diamond or rhombus shape, or it may also be, I think there was like a Ninjago one that was dual molded that's like pearl gold and like transparent colors, so I can't tell if it's one of those two molds or if it's going to be a new mold here. And then the real standout here is this Mandrake in the upper left. I could not figure out if this is a mold that already exists. If somebody knows, feel free to shout it in the comments. It's not the Dreamlings body, because those have a standard minifigure head connection, and it's not the like Friends baby piece, which is also kind of cursed. So I'm not sure if this is an existing mold, but I don't really like the way this looks.
I love it. I think it's fantastic. He's got like chubby little legs and kind of like a beer belly almost. I love him. He's got a squished head.
The body, sure, but something about the face is, I don't know.
I think he's perfect. Right. I love him.
It doesn't look great.
I will be buying one for sure.
I don't know. Garrett said I'm thinking of the newer Monkey Kid gems. Yeah, maybe that's what I'm thinking of. There's like a dual molded one. Yeah, I don't know. One-legged Larry. Yeah, that's it. Everybody remembers one-legged Larry.
Yeah.
Yes, Morgan. I can talk about that now. We have one more Harry Potter thing, but let me jump over to that, which is that in Atlanta Brick Co. history, this is the first ever time that we have had a Mr. Gold in stock.
What? You guys have one?
In the 10 years that Atlanta Brick Co. has been open, as far as I know, we have never had a Mr. Gold available for sale. We actually have a joke on our store tour that we do, not our online store tour, but our in-person store tour. If you register to do a behind-the-scenes tour at Atlanta Brick Co., downstairs in our basement, we have lots of doors that are labeled with like the T-shirt factory and the sorting block for our sorting room. And there's another door that's basically just a storage closet where we keep our back stock of custom kits. But the door says Mr. Gold Storage Vault, as if we have like hundreds of Mr. Golds that we're storing. But kind of a nice little joke for people doing our inside tour there. But yes, Atlanta Brick Co. does currently have a Mr. Gold available for sale.
That's awesome.
Morgan dropped the link in the chat there if you at least want to ooh and ah over it, unless you have, I don't know how many thousands of dollars available to spend on something like that. But you're welcome to go and to check it out. So thank you for sharing that, Morgan. Let's see. Yeah, Morgan said my wife would kill me if you bought it. Yeah, this is coming from a guy who bought a sealed Cloud City too. So maybe so, maybe so. I wish I could buy a Mr. Gold, but I think he's disproportionately expensive for how rare he actually is. All right, let's see. There was one other Harry Potter thing we had today. Let me see if I can find the picture for it real quick. There we go. There is a rumor for a new Hogsmeade Village D2C set from Harry Potter. 3,228 pieces. So presumably comparable to the Diagon Alley set, which we had before. This will be coming out in September of 2025. So I think this is a good next logical choice for Harry Potter. I was kind of worried about Harry Potter running out of ideas to do, basically like UCS or direct-to-consumer sets. The Burrow, for me, was kind of a stretch and one that wasn't really necessary. But this, I think, is a great next logical step. So for comparison, the Diagon Alley was 5,475 pieces. So this is going to be smaller for sure. But I think could be cool because there aren't as many maybe notable businesses that they would need to make. The Hogsmeade Village that they've done before in the picture here obviously had the 3 broomsticks and honeydukes, which I would expect to see. Additional shops that we can maybe see would be like the Hog's Head I almost said Boar's Head, but that's the Deli Meats Company. Hog's Head, and I'm trying to think of what else is in Hogsmeade they could do. Are you a big Harry Potter fan? You sound like you're not at all.
I am. I'm skeptical of how well this set is going to be made. I hope it's good. I do really enjoy the other like modular buildings they've done, the Diagon Alley, the Gringotts Bank. I'm afraid on the scale and how it kind of works out. I hope it fits along with the others, but I'm cautiously optimistic about it.
Yeah, for sure. Let's see. More saying he hopes someone else buys the Mr. Gold, which is why he posted it. Let's see. Let me go back to here and hide that. Let's see. Scott Robinson said he'd have to trade in most of his collection to acquire that Mr. Gold. Yeah. $6,000, I guess, is what we have it listed for. Does it come with insurance? Yeah, I would assume so. Yes, I'm sure there would be package insurance on that. Morgan said, I feel like we just had a Hogsmeade Village, but it was 4 years ago. Yeah, that is a very good playset, Hogsmeade Village, though. I like that set a lot. It's really nice.
It's one of the few Harry Potter playsets that's not just tan, which is good.
Yeah. It's one I actually have built and still on display in my collection because it just looks nice on a shelf. Kind of goes with Winter Village stuff, too.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. That does it for Harry Potter. So let's jump back over here and see what's next. All right, this is a new Disney set that's going to be coming out. This is the Lucky and Penny 101 Dalmatian Puppies set. Where to start here? Okay, the puppies I think are good. They actually are using a very similar construction method to basically a creator dog set that came out a while ago. So I guess that worked well for them. There's sort of a TV build in the background here as well that hopefully has a printed piece on it. I'm assuming the rest of these pieces are not stickers. They look like they could potentially be prints. I think the worst thing here is the big capital letter I.
So I stared at this set for a solid 30 seconds, wondering why there was an I in it, before Daniel walked up to me and said, "Is that supposed to be a dog bone?"
I think it's a dog bone, but it's a really bad dog bone.
It's so flat and it lacks any curves. Like, it's just an eye.
They've made better dog bones before, I'm sure. They needed to use like the L plate on the corner and get some 45-degree angles in there. I don't know.
I like the box art. Is that a pro here? It's showing that Disney will keep with the bright colors for children. It's got some fun decoration on there.
I guess. I don't know. I don't know why they included the TV either, but I guess it's kind of a neat little side build there. I can't quite tell what the print is that's on it, or if it's a sticker. But yeah, it's interesting. It's a nice little small, affordable brick built character set that will be coming out. So exciting to see. I always love to see new Dalmatian stuff as well.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, we have some city news. So this is, I'm actually really excited about this, mostly because Joey's laughing because he's going to say that this is the Killdozer.
I didn't know if I could say it, but that's definitely what I'm thinking.
You can say Killdozer.
All right.
I'm just excited that they're doing more of these construction vehicles in this bright light orange color scheme. I think it worked really well. They basically only did the 2 sets. They had the large sort of boom crane, and then the kind of bucket excavator, which I think sold really well. They're actually kind of hard to find for a while, so I'm glad they did well, and I'm glad that they're doing more. This is a picture actually of the back of the box art, but you can at least see some of the play functions here, which it looks like the treads actually drive like a semi-functional internal motor, at least where you get the kind of pistons going up and down. Then of course the bucket on the front goes up and down, and then I'm not sure. I don't know enough about construction to know what the thing is that it's pulling behind it. I assume it's something for grading or leveling, basically, or raking the dirt up. But regardless, I'm just glad that they're making more of these city construction sets in this color scheme.
Yeah, I like the color scheme a lot as well. I definitely really hope that somebody with a little bit more talent than I have builds a Killdozer mock out of it, because that's the immediate look I get from it. Like, it's just the way they shaped it. It's almost like they wanted it to be that.
A man is disgruntled in Lego City. Build the Killdozer. Yikes. Anyway, yeah, very cool. I did not personally build either of those first two sets that came out, but I did buy one of them as a gift for my dad for Father's Day.
Sure.
He was a general contractor, so I got him the bucket excavator one, and he said it was a fantastic build. It looked like a great build experience and a great finished display piece. So, very cool to see that they're doing more of those. Let's see what else we have. I know we had a few other city news items. Let's see if I can find them here. Where'd they go? Yeah, here we go. All right, so this is the City Tower, which will be coming out in June. This one was originally rumored to be a D2C set at a relatively high price point. I didn't write down what it was, but that information is out there. So we were kind of speculating and hoping that maybe this was going to be like a nice display piece, like a modular building or something that wasn't specific to either Marvel or like the regular modular building series, which aren't like skyscrapers. I would like to just see like a nice large skyscraper modular building or something that you could put in a city. But this is something wildly different. This is basically just a mashup of all the different Lego City themes. We've got fire down here on the bottom right, police on the bottom left, construction again above that, so you get more of that bright light orange kind of construction theming with this large crane here, space taking off from the top, and then just sort of a generic building in the middle with like a trolley kind of train coming out of the middle of it. What are your thoughts about this, Joey? I'm curious.
I don't love it.
Yeah.
My immediate concern is that it does just look like that space station. The spaceship is kind of just clipped onto the top of the building.
Yeah.
It doesn't really look like it fits in. I think they did a decent job of connecting the rest of them to the build.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other complaint is I think it looks kind of like a stunt set.
Yeah.
I think it's
you
kind
do
of
have stunts on the right.
Yeah.
The big ramp.
It's got the stunts with the ramp. It's very narrow. It doesn't have obviously really much of an interior or structural stability to it. So I have a feeling it's going to be one of those ones that breaks apart a lot.
Yeah, maybe. The two side buildings might be relatively well attached, but like the train track in the middle, I don't know. The other interesting thing is, at least in this picture, I don't see any stunt spikes or anything that you're supposed to launch off that ramp. I mean, you've got the two larger cars, but there's no way they would make that turn at the bottom. So I don't know what you're supposed to launch off the ramp, but I'm sure there's something included. Anyway, that is the City Tower, which will be coming out in June. Next up, we got some early pictures of some city figs that are, I thought originally these were maybe Build-A-Minifig, but supposedly the rumor is that these will be the Advent Calendar figs for this year, coming in the city sets. So the wild new addition here is the Christmas tree costume.
I think it's fantastic. I love it.
It's pretty cool. The reindeer head, I believe we've had before. I know we've had these antlers that are probably the rubberized piece. I don't know if they're new in brown. I know we've had them in green a lot before because people use them for foliage. And then we've got like a small polar bear costume kind of child here. But the Christmas tree one is wild. They've been doing like the big like triangular, basically like the pie slice piece. Mm-hmm. They've been reprinting that like you wouldn't believe. I mean, we had pizza, watermelon, cheese, strawberry shortcake, I think like chocolate cake or pie or something. So this is kind of another large triangular thing, but it's obviously in the opposite direction and it's got more texture to it. So I don't really see what else they could reuse this for besides a Christmas tree, but a cool new mold nonetheless.
If they are the Advent Calendar figs, it's an interesting pivot away from just standard city figs in the Advent Calendar.
Yeah.
I wonder if they have so many different Advent calendars now. If they're trying to make it unique in its own role. Yeah. But I like them. I think they're fun.
Last year's was pretty good. We got a lot of different like printed the Christmas sweaters.
Yeah.
Or, like all the
there was a unique baby in there, and those are always cool.
For sure. Let's see, our last bit of city news today. We've got some more information about the 2 Arctic sets that will be coming out. Oh, why is it not? There we go. So the Arctic Explorer Express train, that's going to be 1,517 pieces for $200 coming out in June, is going to include a single car with an icebreaker at the front. The train can be connected to a remote control. So this is a good piece of information, knowing the price and piece count. It was a little bit steep, so good to know that it will be motorized, it sounds like. Emerges from a tunnel in a snowy mountain cliff with a waterfall, a play feature where boulders can fall into the train. Includes railroad tracks, a small loading station with a rail cart, and a small loader vehicle. So I still have relatively high hopes for this one as a train set that at least train fans will be interested in collecting. I think they can do a lot with it at that price point, and it's something they've really never done before. So
yeah,
I'm still eager to see what that will look like.
Yeah, I think it's fun. The last couple trains they've done have all been kind of commuter trains or express trains, and they do kind of seem to fit the same niche and role. Mm-hmm. So to have something a little different is cool.
Yeah. And then the second Arctic set here is the Arctic Explorer Science Truck with 1,057 pieces for $110, also coming out June 1st. Includes a truck in, as we expected, orange, navy blue, and white, basically the same color scheme they've been using for Arctic for a long time. Wheels with white rims and a sea telescope mounted on top of the cockpit, space for 2 containers and antennas. Also includes a snowmobile and a cliff with a boulder on top and a wolf's den underneath. So it would be cool if we're getting more of the wolves, potentially from the Wolfpack CMF. Not sure, that's not confirmed, just speculation. Set comes with 4 minifigures: snowmobile driver, a girl with a camera, a truck driver, and another crew member. So again, hopefully another reason to buy more City Arctic sets. Hopefully they will turn out pretty well. Let's pop back over to the comments here. Only 2 out of 101. Yeah, Morgan said you have to buy 51 copies of that set if you want to get the full 101 Dalmatians. Let's see, City Tower. Can't figure out which theme it wants to be. Yeah, it's kind of a representation of all of those city themes. It is a lot in a little footprint for sure, Scott. City has lost its direction a little bit, but it does seem to keep selling. Yeah. Second use of brown. Oh, sorry, not the pants. The antlers on the reindeer, I think, was what I was talking about at the time. Oh, second best use of brown pants. Gotcha. Train with play features is definitely a big one. Yeah, especially if it includes like a whole loop of track as opposed to like the on and off ramp piece there. All right.
Tumbling rocks are always a fun play feature too. I really enjoyed the mining sets from City when I was growing up.
Oh yeah.
And having all the rocks that you could actually drill into, and I paired them with power miners and different things. So that'll be fun with Arctic.
For sure. Not necessarily a city set, but somewhat tangential. So there's a new rumor for a NASA set, which will include basically a 747 airplane with the Space Shuttle Discovery on the back of it. Now, this is something they actually did a long time ago. There was a set in the, I want to say either late 80s or early 90s that was like a blue airplane that had a space shuttle on the back of it, but it was very primitive for its time, I guess you could say. But this will be very cool to see as, I assume, an icon set with 2,417 pieces for $230. So it will be significantly scaled down from the existing Space Shuttle Discovery set that is out. But to get the plane with the Space Shuttle could potentially be very cool. We won't see this one until May 15th.
Yeah, I think it's a very iconic piece of history that a lot of people look back on, and that's how it kind of encapsulates the entire Space Shuttle period. It couldn't have happened without the 747. Mm-hmm. I am interested to see how it works because about 70% of that build, maybe 60%, should be the 747. So it should be a really small space shuttle. So I hope that it connects well, hope that they detach well, and they actually display it at decent scale.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So looking forward to that one. Definitely eager to see. All right, next up, we can talk about some Lego DreamZzz. So we had some more information about the Game Islands Tower set. However, this was canceled. So you're welcome to pause or go back to read all this information about it. But somebody wrote a novel about this set that's not even going to be coming out. But there it is, at least. Who knows if we'll ever even see pictures of what this set was going to look like. But there you go. You can at least go read it if you are interested.
Hey, maybe we'll get photos in 2 years like we are of that canceled Indiana Jones set now.
Maybe. Yeah, there were some other pictures that came out showing the figures from that set. So again, I don't know if somebody out there has the box art for it or something that they could potentially leak in the future. I'm still kind of holding out hope that pictures of that will leak so we can, because I like to build sets that never came out, but the pictures we have currently of that one are just a little bit too blurry to do that completely. But let's see. I'm trying to find which image it is. We do have some more information about Dream sets here. There it is. So there will be more sets coming in the first half of the year of 2026, which I was, well, I won't say surprised about, but I was starting to think that Dreams was potentially canceled. A lot of these more recent Lego themes have been canceled after about 3 waves. I mean, Hidden Side, Chima, Nexonites, most of them seem to be about 3 and done. And we have gotten 3 waves at this point, but we will at least be getting a little bit more out of Dreams. So it looks like 5 sets that will be coming out in the first half of the year of 2026, but supposedly none rumored for the second half of the year.
Yeah, I was hearing that these are the last anything rumored for now.
Yeah. So all of the 2025 summer sets will be revealed on May 2nd. So will be, well, let's see, May 2nd of what? 2020? No, I guess it would be May 2nd of this year, but that's weird if it's coming in 2026. I don't know. Either way, and then there's the Game Island Tower once again that was canceled.
Does it have something to do with the TV show? I'm not watching it currently, but if they're releasing another season, maybe it's important for the show.
I don't know. I frankly never even finished season 1. It wasn't really doing it for me. It was an interesting concept, but it was not as engaging as an adult. I'm sure kids out there enjoy it, but there have been Lego shows that I've enjoyed as an adult. Even Elves was pretty good. Monkey Kid was surprisingly fantastic. I know Garrett's a huge Monkey Kid fan. I've enjoyed every episode of Monkey Kid I watched because I think it's more enjoyable by a wider audience. I think Dreams was a little more kid focused, and I was not getting much out of it.
I'm happy to hear we're getting more Dream sets. They always get really cool molds. They get really cool printing and dual molding, translucent parts in the sets as well. And often you can find them on clearance at Walmart. So being able to get access to those cool parts for such affordable prices is always fun.
For sure. All right, let's see. That was that one again. All right, here's a very random piece of news. So Lego Icons 2025 Sherlock Holmes Book Nook for $120 coming out on June 1st, 2025, which is not all that long away at this point. But this kind of came out of nowhere. I mean, this is interesting. We have gotten a few rumors now for these book nooks. There's the Lord of the Rings, the Gandalf versus, I think they're calling it Durin's Bane, but it's the Balrog. What was the other one? Harry Potter Hogwarts Express?
That sounds like it might be right.
I think we talked about it because I was talking about how I've seen it done before as like bookends, but not a book nook. So
I'm excited that it says it includes minifigures. Sherlock Holmes figures would be really cool.
Yeah, we've gotten a lot of these like kind of tribute style sets where we've gotten like people from history. We've gotten Galileo. We got
Amelia Earhart.
What's the chimpanzee?
Yeah, that's what I can't remember her name. Gosh, we're the worst.
Oh no.
She has white hair.
Jim Goodall. So we've gotten a lot of those historical figures. We got a lot as well in the Eiffel's apartment. Yeah. We got the STEM ideas. Was it a gift with birds? I don't know. It was an ideas contest anyway. We got like Isaac Newton and George Washington Carver and Marie Curie. So lots of historical kind of figures. So even though this is a fictional character, it kind of seems in that same kind of vein. But very cool to see Sherlock Holmes. I assume he's public domain at this point. I can't imagine he's licensed.
Yeah.
But either way, very cool to see. They've never really done anything like this before.
Doesn't seem like licensing stops Lego anymore. They're kind of scooping up all the licenses.
Yeah.
It seems like they're big enough now that if they want it, they can have it.
Yeah. There was a meme out there for a while with Thanos putting in the Infinity Stones into the gauntlet, and it was like what was it? It was Star Trek, Pokemon. It was basically all the ones that have been long-standing held by other brands.
In there as well.
Transformers, all the ones that have been held by other companies for a long time, and Lego's somehow just making a big push right now to corner the market and raise the price, as Walter White would say. But there you go. Sherlock Holmes could be very cool. We haven't seen any of these book nooks yet, so we don't really know what the structure and kind of the format of them will look like, but hopefully they will be cool. All right, let's see. Next up, we've got more information about the prize machine, which is a Lego Ideas set. So this is going to include supposedly 6 minifigures, including Fabuland, which I don't know how they're going to do that.
Wow.
They have done a lot of Fabuland stuff this year between the Lego house set that came out, as well as adding some more stuff to the history collection. I don't know how they would do a modern Fabuland.
I would imagine they're going to do it just like they do
Chima.
No, Animal Crossing. I have a feeling it'll be just a big molded head
on a standard
minifigure with like a printed T-shirt on it.
Yeah, I could see that. Either that, or it's just like a city character wearing a T-shirt that says Fabuland.
Yeah.
Like we got it.
I wouldn't put that past
Was it a
them.
Lego movie figure? There's the one with the Galador torso that I think was from Ninjago. There's one with the Fabuland torso. I want to say it was from like Lego Movie or something. Either way, Paradisa, that's really easy to do because they're plain minifigs, but I mean, if it truly looks like a Paradisa fig, that could potentially be very cool.
Yeah.
Like a dude with sunglasses and like a tank top, or like the girl with like the crop top and the red lipstick or something. Pirates could be anything.
Sure.
Ideas, it says a minifigure with the Ideas logo on it, which is interesting, I guess. Cool. And then it says plus 2 more, but I mean, we know what one of them is because they did the voting contest for what the figure was going to be. It was basically what the next color of Classic Spaceman was going to be. And the options were, I think, turquoise, as we see here, pearl gold, one of the 2 azures. It was like medium azure or dark azure. Okay. And I forget what the 4th one was. I'm sure somebody in the comments will remember. But I believe the one that won was the dark turquoise. Again, I'm sure somebody could confirm that for me. But yeah, lots of nice new information about this. I think it's going to be a cool set. I think it's going to be unfortunate that a lot of really desirable minifigs are going to be locked behind this probably somewhat expensive paywall, but Lego knows what they have to do to get you to buy a set that you don't really want to buy otherwise.
Yeah, there could be some really cool mocks built with this set. With the kind of concept of a prize machine, you could turn it into pretty much any theme. Convert it into Harry Potter, Marvel, Star Wars, and get their iconic characters in there. Could be really fun. Yeah. I know we don't like to talk about other Lego alternatives, but it's very interesting. I believe it's Panacea has a like gumball machine, and it works really well. Ryan M&R Productions has one that he reviewed one time, and it's actually a pretty decent build. And this seems like it could just be really inspired from it, but those figures behind it could be really, really fun.
Yeah, for sure. All right, let's jump over to the comments here because it's been a minute since we checked in. Cross Airborne Customs, we have not passed Star Wars yet. We have not. We're not getting there. Let's see. Randy says, my library's going to look great with all these book nooks. Yeah, you're going to have more book nooks than books.
Yeah, she's going to run out of space for the books.
Yeah. Yes, hopefully it does come, I would assume, with both a Holmes and a Watson. We have gotten kind of the Sherlock Holmes hat before, I know. I can't remember what we got it in.
Oh.
But I know we got it because we did like a Detective Pikachu custom at one point. It was probably a CMF, I would imagine. Probably just like a guy with a magazine or a magnifying glass. Yes, nostalgia equals money, for sure. Lego has finally kind of realized that, I think, since the 90th anniversary, just how powerful that is and how much people are willing to pay for it. In response to Lego Kids shows, Morgan liked the Freemaker Adventures. Pretty funny. Yeah, there was a lot of nice new stuff that Lego kind of came up with on their own for that, which was very cool. Here were all the options. Bright bluish. Yeah, these are the Lego names, which are kind of strange. But yeah, warm gold was pearl gold. Dark azure. Okay. Reddish violet. I don't even know what color that would be. Bright yellowish green is probably the kind of spring green color, and then bright bluish green, I believe, was the dark turquoise, basically. Those are the official internal Lego colors, which almost nobody uses.
It's interesting that they have a different system than Bricklink, even though they own Bricklink.
Right. I mean, Lego always had their own internal system, and my understanding why some of them are so weird is because I wonder if reddish violet. I think it was magenta, probably.
Okay,
it's probably magenta. Yeah. I believe the Lego internal names are so kind of odd because certain words for colors don't exist in Danish. So, for example, Danish does not have a word for pink, so they're always like very light red or something like that in direct translation from Danish. So that could be part of the original reasoning why they have not since maybe adopted the Bricklink naming convention to bring it into parody. I don't know, but there you go. Morgan dropped a link where you can check out those colors. I'm guessing that one I was missing was magenta, but I believe the one that won the contest was dark turquoise, if I'm not mistaken.
That's good. That would look good with a lot of the newer like city space sets as well. So if you wanted to really play with it, it'd be good for great kids.
I completely forgot about the other vote that was part of that same thing, which was the castle faction that was going to be in it. That post also didn't talk about that, but there were lots of new castle factions. It was like griffins and krakens. Morgan, I'm sure you've probably got it up here, so let me know.
I remember the krakens.
Again, I don't know which one won. I know a lot of people were voting for the krakens because it kind of looked like a Cthulhu head or something.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure if they made that information public, what actually won the contest. But Morgan, if you have any more information on that, by all means, feel free to share.
I would be very surprised if one of those castle figures was not in this set, especially if they're throwing a pirate set in there and these other vintage throwbacks.
It was specifically for that set. Yeah, it was 2 votes. It was what color spaceman and what new castle faction.
And if the leak here we have says that there's 2 additional figs, it's got to be those.
So yeah, space, castle, and then it also said pirates with a question mark, and then those other ones.
Yeah, Fabuland and Paradisa.
Yeah, for sure. All right, let's keep rolling here. Get that out of the way. There is a new contest. So actually, last week they had a contest that was active. So they had already done the 80s contest. I'm trying to remember what won from the 80s contest, but it was like Gremlins and Goonies and some other stuff. And then I think it was like last week or the week before they were doing a 90s contest where there was Forrest Gump, there was Wallace and Gromit, there was Mr. Bean. I'm not sure if the voting on that has ended, but I would highly recommend going to vote.
What was the hockey movie that was on there? Was it Mighty Ducks?
Mighty Ducks was on there.
That one looked fun.
Yeah, I think I voted for Wallace and Gromit because even though it didn't come with figs, I thought it was cooler. Forrest Gump, I think, was the other strong contender.
Yeah.
But the new contest they'll be doing is the A Twist of Nostalgia new GWP contest. So you can head over to the Lego Ideas website to get more information about that if you want to send in a submission. And I would expect it'll be a little while before we get to the voting phase for that. But be sure to go check that out if you want to send something in. This is a pretty wild rumor, again out of left field, but there will supposedly be another Lego Legend of Zelda D2C set coming. So sorry to all the people who spent a lot of money and whose wallets are still hurting from purchasing the Deku Tree, but joy for you that you'll be getting more official Lego from Zelda, but this will not be coming out till early 2026. So start saving your money now. I'm sure it's going to be an expensive one.
Yeah. If you haven't picked up the Deku Tree, I believe it is still on sale at Costco. It's a bundle with that $60 Dragon Creator set. You can get it for about $300. So
nice. Let's see.
Yeah, I'm interested to see if they'll make more new molds, kind of reusing the same ones. I know a lot of people are buying the Deku Tree, not even really for the build, but just because they were so excited to get the sword and the hair printing and molding. Yeah. So if they reuse a lot of that, I imagine that the appeal might be a little bit less.
Could be. I know Lego's going to want to reuse those molds to do it more times, so I would say it's highly likely they'll appear again. But who knows what the price point will be for this new one. Maybe they'll try and make it cheaper than the Deku Tree just to make it a little more attainable for people or to push sales on people who didn't purchase the first one. But we will just have to wait and see.
Because there are a lot of people that purchase 2 of the Deku Tree as well because they want to have it displayed both ways. So some people have a stockpile of those figures now.
Yeah, I'm sure. We've got some update on some Friends information. I'm just going to run through it real quick, mostly for Lemur Bricks if he's watching, or anybody else who likes Friends. But there will be a pool party with a unicorn and a flamingo, with a flamingo-shaped boat, a small white unicorn, pineapple-shaped building, music player and speakers, and a sun lounger that comes with 2 mini dolls for $10. I don't know why we're getting so much description for a $10 set in this rumor, but whatever, there it is. We just report the news, we don't make it. And the Plant Cafe and Flower Shop for $90, including a beautiful, seems subjective, blue cafe filled with plants and flowers with a white table for visitors inside in a 3-story building. The Reddit Cafe is a flower store with a white dome and shelves with flowers. Also includes a small yellow streetcar. And then a Friends D2C set is what they're calling it, but at $100, D2C to me seems like $200 and up. $100 is just a big play set, basically. So I don't know why they've chosen to call it D2C, if it will be specifically more targeted to adults, or
it could be like a model, like a display, rather, or like Star Wars has their helmets, there's less than to play with. So maybe it'll be like more of an 18+ set.
Maybe so, like the Friends logo or something, or like an art piece or something. It may be something that pushes the boundaries anyway, I think is what we're getting at. But June 1st for that one as well. So you'll see all of these three sets here in just a couple months. All right, that's the update on that. Next up, another sort of random one. Birthday numbers gift with purchase. I don't know why this would be a gift with purchase and not just a set you could buy, if it is what this leaker has chosen to put in the pictures, where like they're the buildable numbers that you could put on the cake, or kind of similar to what was the set they came out with? The message board set. Do you remember that? It was awful.
Yeah.
It's like all the letters you could arrange, kind of like a Scrabble board, like on the wall.
That would be a cool set to have as a more long-term set on shelf. So it is an odd choice for GWP. I know we get a lot of customers coming to the store looking for that, the the older cake set with the minifigure on top that you can set the different stickers for the ages.
For sure.
And that's a set that I wish was still available. So it's odd that they wouldn't choose to provide this.
Yeah, I'm not sure what their reasoning for that is, or if the rumor's just incorrect, but we'll just have to wait and see. All right, let's see. Next up, we have the Children's Day teddy bear gift with purchase. So Children's Day is something that LEGO seems to do a little bit of participation with every year, but it seems to mostly be a thing in foreign countries. So I don't know if this is available in the United States or not. It was supposedly available from April 1st, so I don't know if this is on there currently on Lego.com. If you live in the United States, it may only be available in other countries where Children's Day is more widely celebrated. But anyway, you can see what the set looks like there. It's not a bad build for a teddy bear, honestly. It looks more
I like
teddy
it,
bear
but
shaped.
I think he looks like he's wearing a bald cap.
I can see it.
But
Yeah.
I do like it. I think the crayon or the colored pencil builds are pretty cool as well.
Yeah, and he's playing with Lego bricks.
Yeah.
It's a little bit meta in that regard. This is 238 pieces, again, available from April 1st. Not sure what the regional availability is on that, though. All right, got that. Next up, I just thought this was funny. New Elementary posted, there are more pictures out there of the Smeagol and Deagle gift with purchase where you can see close-ups of the minifigure, but New Elementary said choking hazard because Smeagol is choking out Deagle to steal the ring from him. So kind of a funny joke there, potentially a tie-in with April Fools or something. But yes, there are pictures out there where you can see these minifigures more up close. I believe the last time we reported this, it was still fairly blurry images. I love that Smeagol is using I believe the Isaac Newton hairpiece, which is great for him because he had that much longer, kind of stringier hair, even when he was in his Hobbit form as opposed to his Gollum form, I guess you could call it. But there you go. Speaking of April Fools, there was a Lego April Fools Day joke this year that was very widespread. So it was published on Lego's own account as well as the Lego Builds account. Do you follow this
I did not.
account? Lego put out this other account called Lego Builds where they show lots more like vintage and retro stuff and things basically more that adults are interested in.
I've had a couple of their posts come through my feed.
Yeah.
Suggested to me.
So it's Lego Builds on Instagram, and I follow them just because they share the kind of stuff that I'm interested in. They're showing, there was one where they opened a sealed Bionicle set that's a really expensive one. They show lots of stuff like with Fabuland because that made a return, and lots of other old interesting things, basically that adults enjoy. So I highly recommend it if you're an AFOL. But anyway, the April Fool's Day prank this year was shared on Lego's accounts, the Lego Builds account, the Lego House account, the New Elementary, as well as a bunch of other LAN members. I know Maticus Bricks was sharing it, so they really got everybody on board with it this year. And it was that there were these prototype minifigures with synthetic hair, basically, like you would see on Barbie dolls, and things like that. But they did a good job of kind of disguising it. They would like intersperse it in other things. So I believe this one was from the Lego House account, and it was like, here's 5 things you can see in the history collection in Lego House. And the other 4 items were like actual things you can see there, and this is in the middle at number 3. So a lot of different people were having fun with it. New Elementary was hilarious. There were some of these Duplo ones as well, and they were because New Elementary always shows like the geometry of how things fit with other pieces. So they're like, the hair fits under the arch 1x4x2 and is 7 modules long and 1 plate high. Widely compatible with Lego rubber bands.
Oh
so
my gosh.
I like that Lego came up with an idea, then gave the idea to all these different platforms so that they could embrace it in the way that they typically share Lego media. So it made it more convincing, I think, in that regard.
I think it looks pretty good on that Duplo thing.
Yeah, it's really not bad. I forget which account it was that shared it, but they actually referenced, I mean, there were Scala figs that actually did have synthetic hair that you could comb, basically like Barbie dolls. So it's really not that far of a stretch from the truth. This obviously is a little on the nose, but funny to see anyway. So very cool to see Lego still doing April Fool's pranks. All right, let's see what else we got. We don't have too many things left. We already covered that. Let me go back to my note here. All right, I think we just have Star Wars stuff left to talk about. So first we'll talk about the May the 4th gift with purchase, which has gone through a pretty significant change from the last time we talked about it. It was originally rumored to just be basically a standard escape pod from the episode of Clone Wars where Boba and a couple of the other clones escape, but it has been changed to the Kaminoan KE-8 Enforcer ship. Do you know what this is at all, Joey?
When I first saw photos of this, I genuinely had no idea. I had to look it up online. Upon further research, it patrols Camino. I mean, as the title itself says, right? But beyond that, we were looking at where it is. It seems like it's been in a lot of kind of expanded lore books and episodes. But as far as it was saying, it was in episode 2, which I thought was confusing because I hadn't seen a live action image. I couldn't find one online. It's a cool build. I'm interested to see what it'll look like.
Yeah,
it's definitely an odd choice though, because that escape pod that had been leaked and rumored before, that's kind of an iconic scene, an iconic build that a lot of people associate with.
I remember that. I mean, it would have been simpler and maybe not as
Sure.
cool, but it's certainly a more iconic scene, more memorable scene. Rather.
I think a lot of people for this set are really just excited about the minifigures in here. I mean, I know I will be purchasing Jango Fett's Starship, as it'll probably be called.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to get these as an addition there. That I think that set is going to be so good that anything that comes with it is going to be a real bonus.
Yeah. The original rumor for the escape pod had said basically 3 clones, and then I think it switched to 2 clones and Boba, but in the clone uniform. Now it's back to just 3 basic clones.
Yeah.
From the images we could tell. I mean, this looks like a ship that should fly around outside, but in the pictures we found, it looks like it flies around like inside the actual like cloning chamber where they have all the different like spinning pods with the basically like glass test tubes that the clones are being grown in. So I don't really know what it's enforcing, but anyway,
I am hearing that people are still hoping on an arm printing, that is possible, but unlikely.
Yeah.
But that dual molded legs are almost definitely not happening. So it would have been really cool, especially since they have that piece already. They use it for Santa and a lot of other pieces, the red with the black feet. But I've heard the dual molded legs are definitely like not happening.
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me. But I mean, if they don't do arm printing, I mean, what's the point? They're in very plain jumpsuits.
Yeah,
so I don't even know what they would.
I have heard that the arms may be a darker color red, so you'd have the bright red and then the dark red, which could suffice. Obviously, arm printing would be awesome, but any detail they can add to that, because otherwise you're just going to be looking at a really bright red figure.
Yeah. I really hope it has the arm printing with that cloner patch. All right. Elsewhere from Star Wars, we've got the Lego Star Wars, or the Star Wars Celebration Lego tile for 2025, which will be available exclusively as a gift with purchase at Star Wars Celebration this year. Kind of interesting that this picture seems to all be in Japanese, I assume. I don't know if that's the only tile or if it'll be available in multiple languages or what the deal with that will be, but it seems like Star Wars Celebration, really rare collectible exclusives are kind of going by the wayside. We're not getting like whole sets or even exclusive minifigures. It seems the past couple of years they've reduced it basically to just a printed tile, which is kind of disappointing for the people actually attending for the sake of attending, but I understand the desire of reducing the kind of chase for it on the aftermarket. They kind of done the same thing with San Diego Comic-Con figures, just kind of slowly fading that away. But interesting to see nonetheless that you will still be able to get something exclusive if you attend Star Wars Celebration this year. All right, let's pop over to the comments real quick. Grubby J said, "Is it a bear or another facehugger?" It could potentially be converted into a facehugger. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a rebrickable for that. The castle factions were Krakens, Griffins, Bulls, and Crows. So Bulls were similar to, I believe, the Knights Kingdom Bull faction, and Crows were similar to the Tournament Knights. So I think that's why people were kind of not leaning towards those. Krakens and Griffins were the two new ones. I don't recall which one won, but I would imagine it would be one of those two. Dawson Dill joining in. Welcome in. Let's see what else people are saying. JMax Studios tune in. Welcome in. Enforcership is definitely a strange choice. I agree, Morgan. Let's see. If I went all the way to Japan, I would be mad if a tile was the exclusive offering. I would have to agree, Morgan. But I think Lego's trying to make it so that that's not the primary reason for people attending. Occasional Hero, welcome in. Thank you for joining. All right, let's see what else we had left from Star Wars. Go ahead and move that. All right, so more information about the Star Wars logo that's going to be coming out on May 1st. So it's going to be 700 pieces for $59.99. Once again, it is still confirming that there are not going to be any minifigures included, which is still very sad.
Yeah.
But it says that it includes a lever function. I don't know why you would have a lever function if there's no minifigs. They did this with the Marvel logo as well, and it caused it to just be way more expensive than it should have been, as did the minifigures, which were not really that spectacular to begin with.
And they're missing one.
Yeah, and they're missing one. So this also says it should be the version pictured, which is just the basic Star Wars logo. I was kind of hoping it was actually going to be like the original Lego Star Wars logo or something, where you had like all the characters on the top with like the lightsaber coming up the middle. But it is apparently just going to basically be black and yellow.
Yeah, I think they want to appeal to the more wide audience. So that your casual Star Wars fan that maybe isn't into Lego already, like, oh, that'd be cool to put on my shelf.
Sure, as opposed to the Lego Star Wars logo.
Yeah,
it makes sense. So for $60, I mean, it'll be easy to pick up if it's the kind of thing that you want, but it doesn't really sound like there will be anything particularly exclusive or desirable about it beyond what it is as an art piece.
I am very curious as to what they mean by lever function. And as you said, if there's not a figure in there, what could it be? The Marvel logo comes apart in many sections for those figs.
Yeah.
Where could this be? What's a play feature or display feature in there? Maybe there's some like hidden like lightsaber build inside of it, and you press the lever and it pops a big lightsaber.
Maybe.
But that'd be kind of lame, honestly.
I don't know. I mean, at this price and piece point, I even have a hard time imagining that it's going to have any depth to it, like the Marvel one did. It seems like it's basically just going to be an art piece that hangs on the wall with maybe those picture hanger pieces. So
I feel like they might do it the same way as the Marvel one. The Marvel one has to be really deep because of those figure levers.
Yeah.
And it's especially
very
if you're taking
small though.
Was it 5 figures in there?
Like
if you remove 5 figures from it, $40 price point change, slightly less pieces for the internal functionality. I could see it happening.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see what this lever function supposedly does. But there you go. All right, and our last bit of Star Wars news. This one's a little bit under the radar. This one was only shared by one particular leaker, but nonetheless, it is a rumor. So there is supposedly a Lego Star Wars Christmas TIE Fighter coming this year, probably on October 1st of 2025, and will include at least one figure. Now, this could potentially be very interesting. I mean, we've had the Christmas X-Wing before, but that was an employee exclusive, which was very hard to get and is now extremely expensive on the aftermarket, mostly because of that Yuletide Pilot exclusive minifigure. But
it makes sense from Lego's point of view. I mean, I think they've tried to do other Lego Star Wars Christmas sets. They had the Millennium Falcon holiday diorama last year.
Sure.
That one did not sell very well for them. It was on clearance pretty quickly. And it was very short release launch runtime anyway.
Well, it's all sequels characters.
Yeah.
It's like,
and it's kind of a weird diorama build, which haven't necessarily done the greatest for them anyway. In its own price point. So it was niche for sure. I think they want to capitalize on that market, and that they realized that didn't work.
Right.
But they're not completely ignorant to the market, right? So they must see what that Christmas X-Wing is going for, and must see, oh, there is a demand for this. So I'm curious to see where they take this, and if this leak is real. But it would be really cool.
It would be cool to see if it becomes a series like year after year. I mean, they're already doing. I mean, with the one from last year, it was a tie-in with basically a special. I think it was like a TV special, or it was probably direct to streaming.
Yeah.
But if they do that again this year, and there's a tie-in with this, that would tie-in, no pun intended. That would be interesting to see, especially if they continue to do it moving forward. We could potentially get more ships. Maybe they do another X-Wing, or they do a Falcon, or who knows what else they could do in the Christmas style.
I know myself as a consumer, I'm not incentivized to buy a lot of these play scale and play set TIE fighters they release. I'm much more likely to buy a UCS one or not one at all. Right. So to provide something unique like this, kind of like the Dark Falcon and some of these Rebuild the Galaxy sets, it gives you a fun reason to actually have it with maybe a fun character, a themed character of some sort.
Sure.
If we got some sort of fun character that wasn't just a generic reprint of a TIE fighter, that'd be really cool.
Even if it was a reprint, but if it's exclusive, I mean, that's so cool.
With the Dark Falcon, they did themed ones, right? You got Holiday Luke, or like Beach Luke, and all these different ones. And so if we got something fun like that, I think it could be a really cool set.
Yeah. It may not be everyone's cup of tea. I mean, there are people who like to collect Star Wars characters, but hate that they're all the ones with like the Christmas sweaters because they stick out so much when you display them on a shelf or something. So it may not be for everybody, but I'm just glad to see they're doing something very different to try and capture a different audience.
And it could look really cool with the very small number of people that do have the Christmas X-Wing to have them next to each other. It could be a cool fun display.
For sure. All right, that does it about for our Lego news, but we do have some store news to go over as well before we wrap up here. Let's check in with the comments one more time. Scott also said the same thing. Could it be a lightsaber that rises up from the back? Maybe.
Yeah.
Morgan said maybe like a flying Millennium Falcon or a flying ship or something that could come out from behind.
An X-Wing.
Cool. Grasshopper and Customs wants to know what are the most expensive minifigures that we own. Cloud City Boba Fett.
Chrome Gold C-3PO.
Ooh, I do not have that one.
Yeah, mine's not the best shape. It's got a scratch and some wear on it, but I have that one.
Yeah, I have all the Chrome figures except for that one. I have the Vader and the
TC-14
and the Stormtrooper.
Yeah,
but not that one. That's cool. I will never own a Mr. Gold though, most likely. If that's why you're asking.
Unless you stumble across one at like a garage sale and you just get really lucky.
Yeah, right. Yeah. All right, so for our store news, we have some new custom kits that debuted. I believe we actually showed off last week in Atlanta the Wendigo kit that we had. We also had the Skibidi Toilet, Riz, Ohio.
The Skibidi Toilet is a popular seller, as we've seen in the market.
We sold every single one of those that we took to the convention. What else did we sell?
We sold Bigfoot. We sold a lot of the new TARDIS kit.
Yep, that's the other one we have here.
So this one right here, it did really well at the convention this weekend. People were really excited to see it, along with that 10th Doctor new Sonic Screwdriver. So that one does really well. This one is actually at a lower price point than our other one, which is really cool. I think it's a little bit more, it's a better entry point for a lot of people.
Yes, it's about the same scale. They're both basically life size. The older Sonic Screwdriver, which I guess was the 11th Doctor Screwdriver, used a lot of larger parts that became more expensive and harder for us to source on the aftermarket. So we did restock that one additional time, but it will be retiring after that. So if you still want to get the 11th Doctor Screwdriver, go get it now before we run out of them, because we won't be making them again because we just can't get those parts anymore. I think that one was $30.
Yes, that one's $30.
This one is now reduced to $20.
Yeah.
It's using more modern parts, which are much more easily attainable, but still feels really good in the hand. So very nice there. The Wendigo is also $20 and is a great addition to our Monster Mayhem, or kind of our cryptids line. So like we said, we have the Yeti, the Bigfoot, Mothman, the Xenomorph, the Demogorgon. I'm trying to remember what else is in the monsters wave. That might be most of them.
I think you might have got them all.
I might have got them all. Anyway, so the Wendigo is the new addition kind of to that lineup. Again, pretty affordable at $20 there, nice and spooky. And the TARDIS, this one does use a lot more pieces, so this one is a little bit more expensive.
It's a big kit, for sure.
But it is a big kit. We actually had to order a new size clamshell to fit this one. But it's very nice. The doors do hinge open on it, and you can access the console inside. There's like some levers and like a clock and stuff in there. So
that one is, I believe, $44.99, right?
I think that's correct, yes. It also includes 4 custom printed tiles there with the police box tile. So you can go get all of those now on atlbrick.com. You can search for those custom kits. So let's see. Cross everyone said, I am not buying a Lego Skibidi Toilet in my life, or any Skibidi Toilet toy. I understand. I get it.
The 7-year-olds absolutely loved them at the convention.
They are dying for it. It was crazy. I think that's it. Do you all have any store news down here you want to share, Joey?
Store news. Kind of put me on the spot. Let's see. We have a ton of new mocks in the store in our big city display. Over the last month or so, we've had a lot come in. So if you haven't been down to the store lately, our city display is very different.
Yes.
It looks a lot better, a lot cleaner. There's always fun stuff in there. Beyond that,
we have some of the new ones that are in
there. Yeah, so we have... I'm going to show off my lack of Star Wars knowledge here. What is it Theed?
Theed Palace?
So we have that major city in there from Naboo. It's a large mock. And then we also have a Jurassic Park/World mock. And then we have a Lord of the Rings expanded castle. So we have Barad-dûr, kind of moving into Dungeons and Dragons stuff there. And so there's a lot on there. We have some Minecraft growing in there too. It's a lot of fun new stuff in there. We actually, what is the large build we just put on the backside of our Ninjago modulars? We had kind of like
it's just sort of a
ground
scene.
Yeah, it's almost
like from Marvel.
Yeah, it's got like the railway carts,
the elevated bridge from the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. We're actually getting ready to make a set for this, but it's where he's trying to stop the train with the spider webs, but the webs have ripped his arms out.
So
funny.
We have some fun little nods in there to a bunch of different stuff. So that is very different. We've been redoing our parts department as well. It's still definitely an ever going work in progress. But if you stop by our first couple months, it is a very different system than it is now. So we've got some parts packs, a lot more sorted parts, and it's just a lot better looking for you guys, so we can help service you better.
There's a lot of great new mocks kind of underneath the city as well. I think on grand opening day we really didn't have much on the underside, but that's okay because you're slowly filling it out over time, which is a great way to expand.
We have Tron down there. We have an excavation mock.
Like a dinosaur fossil dig site. Basically, it's underneath the Jurassic Park area.
We have a really cool Batman like layer cave. It's on the corner.
That's
great. It's about 3
because
days.
he did like the big T-Rex and the giant penny.
There's a lot of homages to different Batmans and animated stuff as well. We've got a train station down there that's like exclusive to ours. So it's like the Longwood train station.
That's a really nice one. It's like under the modular city, which makes sense.
And then we have a space one under there too. It uses a lot of those dark orange pieces, and it's like a Mars mock. So there's a lot of fun stuff in there. As far as events coming up, we actually just celebrated our 1-year anniversary yesterday. So we've officially been open for a year now,
April 1st,
which is really awesome, and I'm really proud of where the store's come. But our grand opening anniversary is June 1st. So in just less than 2 months now, we will have an event. I'm not sure exactly what that all entails yet, but we will have something going on. We'll run a promotion. We'll partner with the brewery we have next door to us. We'll have some merch and something to go along with it. So stay tuned to social media to see updates on that, but it'll be a lot of fun to celebrate that.
To kind of bookend things, we talked about anniversaries earlier as well, but once we get to Black Friday this year, will also be the 10th anniversary of Atlanta Brick Co. So we'll also have lots of cool stuff coming out for that. I'm sure we'll have some new exclusive merchandise and things, so stay tuned for that. We're still working out what all that will be, but if you have any suggestions for us, feel free to let us know. But I think that's going to do it for us this morning here on the Morning Brick. So thank you all for joining us for this live stream. Please leave a like on this live stream before you head out if you've not done so already. Consider subscribing to us here on Atlanta Brick Co. TV or joining our membership tiers if you want access to fun exclusive content like emojis and some other exclusive content on there as well. But thank you all for joining us for the Morning Brick. I hope you all have a great rest of your Wednesday. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.